welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I thought I would discuss a little bit further what made me come to YouTube and try to become a full-time vlogger. But to do this, I need to go back to the very beginning and start when I was born. I was born around 3 to 4 months premature. I was born with something called cerebral palsy. For anyone who doesn't know what cerebral palsy is, it's a muscle disorder and it's caused by lack of oxygen at lack of oxygen to the brain and also just being born super early. So I had a lot of challenges when I was younger growing up. Like I didn't learn to walk until I was about 5 years old. Um, I didn't start school till I was around 5, 6 because back in the 80s it was hard to find a school in my area who was willing to take on a person with cerebral palsy. Now my cerebral palsy is just a mild case of cerebral palsy. Most people who have cerebral palsy um, are in wheelchairs or need some kind of help with some sort of walking device. Some people with cerebral palsy actually can't feed themselves, talk, walk, dress themselves. But luckily for me, like I said, mine is just a very mild case. So I was lucky in that sense. Growing up, I did require a lot of surgeries. I think I probably had, I would say, close to a dozen surgeries for my cerebral palsy. My last one coming when I was around 19, I think in the year 2000. Some of the surgeries that I've had one on my hip. That was the very first one I think I ever had. So I don't remember that one. It happened when I was a baby. Um, I've had like heel cord lengthenings, something done to the tendon in the front of my right knee. I had an issue where my right ankle kind of like was bent in like this. So, well, like I said, my last surgery and when I was 19, they broke it and set it with some titanium and screws so that it's no longer um, crooked. So each time I would get the surgery, I would have to usually learn to walk all over again, which I mean is not something that is very easy to do. Um, Growing up, I never really felt like I fit in much. I felt like people kind of looked at me and sometimes treated me different. Even my own parents, I would say, treated me like this, which is sad. I never really felt like I was good enough or, that they loved me. My parents were also very mean to me. They would physically abuse me, call me names, even allow my brother and sister to even call me names a lot of the times. I remember one time when my I was younger, my mom was taking my brother and sister to McDonald's, and I asked her, "Oh, well, can I come along?" And she looked at me and she said, "No." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because you walk too slow." Um, you know, Things that happened to me when I was younger really affected me even as I'm older. As a person who has, struggled with some um, issues where not feeling good enough for people or always worried that people would be judging me. Um, Also, like when you have cerebral palsy, it's can be sometimes hard for companies to take you serious, like when it comes to work. And I mean, the job pool that you're able to work in is also uh, more limited because you're not able to like work in the normal type of job where you could just, you know, stand all day long or where you could lift a lot of heavy things or do a lot of climbing. So, you know, it was also hard for me to um, find a job sometimes. I did go to college. I took HTML web page designing. Um, and then I'm going to just fast forward to back to February 14th, 2019. Um, I was on my way to work that early one morning, and we had just had a snowstorm a few days, I think 1 or 2 days before, and I had called in the previous 2 days from work because the parking lot was very slippery and icy. Um, but after 2 days, I thought, well, the parking lot should be clear, so I will go to work today. So when I went to go out to my car that morning and I'm cleaning some snow and ice off of the car, when I was going around to the passenger side of the vehicle, I had slipped on some ice, and long story short, long story short, I banged the back of my head on the cement, which caused me to kind of black out for I'm not really sure whether it was a few seconds or a minute or two, but when I woke up, my ears were ringing, my vision was blurry. Um, and then from that happening, I ended up suffering a concussion and a brain injury that affects my memory, and I have sensitivity to light and sound sometimes. I also suffer with a lot of neck pain and headaches. And I had to undergo like a lot of treatments, and I've had some doctors tell me that I can't work a normal job again, which sucks because I really loved the job that I had before working for the company that I had. I used to work in IT, and I love the job. It's not an easy job, not the type of job for everyone, but for me, I really loved it because it gave me a freedom and a sense of purpose that I never really felt up until then. Um, and so it's since 2019, it's kind of been a struggle. I was married before when I lived in Canada, but I kind of felt like once I got a brain injury, it changed how she felt about me. She looked at me like, I'm kind of worthless. Like, I don't know. She fell out of love with me. She looked at me differently because I could no longer work, which really um, affected my mental health overall. It got so bad that it really put me in a dark spot in my life. And then eventually, like, we did get a divorce, and then she would make comments like, um, I don't think you'll ever find someone who will accept you. No guy wants to date a guy who can't work anymore. Which really played on my mind. And so around this time, like, I had a friend from here in Davao, and she told me like, Matt, don't listen to her. Like, there are lots of girls here who I think would love you. Like, you're a very sweet and kind person. You're very loving and caring, and you're a good-looking guy. She said, so try to find a Filipina who, will accept you for you and who is going to love you even if you can't work, or no matter what, she's always going to be there for you and accept you. Um, so it did take me a really long time. Like, it's really hard to know who to trust these days after what happened with my ex, who was from Thailand. Um, I really had very strong feelings for her. I've never really cared for anyone like I cared for her. So, it was really tough for me to kind of move on and want to be with someone else. But eventually, when I did start looking, I think it took me around definitely over a year, close to 2 years, maybe more, before I finally, found someone that I felt like I could connect with. Um, and then from that moment on, like, I really started to plan trying to come here, but I never really, like, I always knew that I wanted to, because I really felt like coming here would help me both mentally, emotionally, and also physically. But it was really hard for me to trust that, you know, whoever I picked was not going to just be with me for the wrong reasons, and that's what I was really afraid of. So it wasn't always easy for me to trust to want to come here, even though I really did want to. But then um, I think it was around the end of February in 2020, 2025, maybe the start of March. I just really got tired of my ex constantly bugging me, like, when are you going to move out? When are you going to move to the Philippines? Like, I felt like she was really just wanting me to leave. Um, so eventually I just sold some things that I had so that I could get enough money to buy a ticket to come here and, see how it goes. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it hasn't been perfect. There's times where I think about going back to Canada, because it's hard when you're just living on a small pension. Um, and that's pretty much why I decided to try YouTube, because I really wanted to find something where I felt like I could be useful and like I had a purpose. Like, I don't want to go through the rest of my life living in such a struggle, wondering, how I'm going to afford things, and just sometimes not feeling like I have a purpose. So that's why I decided to try this YouTube thing, and I'm really trying to take it very serious, hoping that I can make, that it can turn into something, and then I can prove people wrong that, you know, tell me that, I'm not worth it. So I just wanted to make a video touching on, what led me to wanting to do the YouTube thing. Um, I'm just really hoping that maybe my channel will take off and people will enjoy my content. Um, I'm still, I'm still working on trying to make my videos better. I'm really trying to learn how to use CapCut. Um, I have figured out a lot of things in CapCut. The free version is okay, but um, I do plan to upgrade to the pro version maybe next month so that I've created a new intro for my channel and outro. And my next goal is to figure out how to do thumbnails. So that is my next goal. Um, So yeah, I just thought I would make a video kind of explaining to everyone what made me want to do the whole YouTube thing, and hopefully some people will see it and maybe they will recommend my channel to friends and family, and maybe it can take off from there. But I do appreciate those who have subscribed and, do watch my videos, and I'm going to continue to try and make videos and stick with this so that hopefully it can turn into being able to make a living. I do appreciate everyone who has taken the time to subscribe. It really means a lot to me. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and for anyone who's new, please do subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you do get notified when I upload videos. I do try to upload daily, but it's not always easy when you have a brain injury. Sometimes fatigue is a real thing, or I'm also tired sometimes, especially with where I'm living now. It can be very noisy, so I have trouble sleeping here sometimes. Yeah, but thank you for watching the video, and please do subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.